We're live now on Sunday, the 18th of January 2026. I'm just going to give Richard um, Extra, Extra a call. Here goes. Where's my phone? We'll see if I get through. He's a debt collector, by the way. I'm going straight into it with Eddie Mitchell and Donald Trump. They're both doing the same thing: money laundering and corporate fraud, white collar corporate fraud. To um, get that going, and call him. Hi, Richard. It's John Wanoa here. John Wanoa in Auckland.
How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks. I've got a hard copy. I've got a post box where to send it to you. That's your agreement. I'll send it to you now in the post. And I've sent some things by email to you.
Yep.
And I think it's good to negotiate what terms we can do. We can do that at some stage through it. But I just want to get him into court in Hamilton. Everything is done. I've done all the research. It just means to see if he's going to say something about what he's taken off me. That's just reconstructing my company into his. And I think it would be a good one for you to do because I've got business in Fiordland as well with the tidal turbine and the aqua farms and the capsule homes. A few things I've been setting up ready to go, but the money was missing. It's supposed to be for communities development and not for one man. That's against the ethics of Freemasonry, which is what's set up by Freemason in Helensville. I went through a lot to set that up with the Freemasons there, and it's just needs a little attention with you. And then I'm ready to go into the courthouse in Hamilton. It's all set up, but they've been dodging me all along. So I think you're the right man to do it, and I think won't muck you around. It'll be straight right through, and just negotiate on some sort of deal between me and you because it'll be ongoing for a long time yet, and it's going. It's in China at the moment with the tidal turbine. That's the energy is the second biggest industry, and AI is the first industry, other than everything else. So energy is the number one here, and I want to convert vehicles. I've got my license to put the gas, hydrogen from the turbine into vehicles and whatnot. And so there, I would just like to share that with you. And experienced people will grab onto it as shareholders. It's all set up with the company that's going to run it for me properly this time. Okay?
Right, so you've emailed all that information?
Yeah, it's all gone to you. I'm going down to send a hard copy of the contract to you and just have a look at it. And you can make whatever term you want to agree to that figure that's there. And I think you'll see that it should go all right. It should succeed because it's fully disclosed and everything is out there. Everybody knows. It was just a matter of someone like yourself to finish it off and top the whole thing up. And the latest one is the Chinese bottle company in Hamilton. That's the biggest one I was setting up with this guy, Eddie Mitchell. And so he's gone tax free with the government here. So there's something really wrong with the tax system if they're not paying tax. It's a big bottling company here that used all my information to get that going. That's just one business. Then all the land titles as well. So they're using the Maori titles. I don't use the Maori title. I use the British Crown title. And the American one is got a bit of a problem with Donald Trump. I've been tracking all that right along, and it leaves it clear for me to go straight to the British Crown. And with you at the front end of that, it would work out really perfect. Okay?
No problems at all. I'll have a read tomorrow. I'll give you a call.
Yep, really. Make it a priority. I'm ready to go into court right away. Okay? In
Okay,
Hamilton.
sir.
Okay. Thanks, Richard. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. There we go. That's Richard. Hoekstra, the Crown debt collectors in South Island. He doesn't have a physical address, just post address. So I'm going to go down there and send it off, the copy of the contract. I'll make the deal with him. And for 17 trillion, recovered from Eddie Mitchell and the Mitchell Family Trust in Hamilton, where I stayed in his father's house. That was his main office in 4 Elizabeth Street in Hamilton, in Beresford. And his office was right there with mine, and Dunn and Bradstreet accountants, which is the same accountants as his, and the government in Wellington, the same accountant was doing my accounts since 2009. I've been there before him. And then he come along and said, "Oh, follow him." I said, "No, I'll follow me, not you. And you can do what you like. I'm doing what I'm like. I'm learning what you're doing. And one day I'll catch you up where you're going." Okay? So there. The bottling water company, the Chinese bottling water company, does not pay no tax. And that's him. The Maryland and all the incorporations have got behind Eddie Mitchell to go and sell the land off, sell the water, sell the fish, sell everything on the blockchain, like now, and everything's for sale. Even the Maori land is for sale. That's what I'm saying to Pare Rivers and Whakatane and Rabataka in Rangituki East Coast. They're going to sell your land. If someone comes and looks at it and goes to the council and says, I can put something there, and they can sell it right away. The council can, because they have the titles tied up with the Maryland court, going to be shut down and put into the district court. I knew that long ago because I spent a lot of time in the Maryland court in Papatoetoe with Mana Te Kanawa, and I learned that all that trade, and also the land information office in town, lends, and picked that all up. And real estate in Remuera, Harvey's Real Estate. I worked there as a real estate agent, and in New Zealand Realties in Epsom as a real estate salesman. And that got all that experience. And at the same time, I was with Winston Peters and his New Zealand First Party. I've seen all the politicians come and go in there. And I was the candidate for Epsom up against Christine Fletcher and National. And so I didn't want to stay there any longer. I wanted to go back on the aqua farms in Japan. I went to Japan and got them set up. Now they can come down on the aqua farms, on the bridge, the airport bridge. That's 60 billion project that's going up straight away. And the building company, high-rise buildings with Julia Chang in China, and also the building bridge company, the airport. I'm waiting for a quote back and a design plan that I can pay for it and pay them straight up with the blockchain and the chip coin, not the crypto, chip coin, and the £1 pound note. And so I got the courthouse here with the native AI co-pilot robot, Microsoft, and he's with me in the court in the cloud, the first native court in the cloud, and the first law in law is the best in presentation of a court of King William III of Orange in 1689 Bill of Rights, and 1694 Bank of England Act, and 1694 Pound Note Act, the £2 pound note over the £1 pound note. Now you can see that America has taken their US dollar, the fiat money, to England just now, this month, with Ripple, their bank Ripple, to get a license for the £1 fiat money. Fancy that. After 180 years plus, they're taking a fiat dollar US to get a license they never had. So that means they've been screwing everybody all these years with a £1 pound note turned into a US dollar, thin air money, currency, and then sold it down everybody in the world. Now it's just going to get legal if it's not going to get past me. It's not going to get past me and King William III's flag of dry land. You're in the sea with your flags. All your flags in the world are in the sea. You need a courthouse. I don't. Okay, so there. This is the man with the debt collection notice, asset forfeiture and seizure, and warrant of arrest for anyone like Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell that said Tira Waikato Wharehere in Manukau with the contract to New Zealand lease, 201 years and 17 trillion worth, is a woman. And that's how stupid he is. He's a Mitchell with an English surname that's not supposed to be picking up the contract for an indigenous native surname, Wānoa, and Manukau, that's registered in London as the King William Moai Crown Trust. Over there, registered the Moai Crown King William III Trust. And also here, the Moai Powerhouse Bank is registered in New Zealand against your Ripple Bank in America and your company in New Zealand here, foreign company running this government here, AMAC. It's registered in New York on a stock exchange as Crown Sovereign of New Zealand Company. See? Versus Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited, New Zealand, 1/1 trillion share company versus that foreign company in Wellington. You know what they're going to get? A debt mortgage lien from me, the mechanic. The mechanic's lien on their head, the green pound note over the head. If they can't tell me where is their deed of title to the land. Don't borrow mine, like Eddie Mitchell. Don't borrow mine. He's already valued it up, went ahead of me to the Scottish government and the Freemasons' main office in Edinburgh and took my 3 little sticks. Here's one there, you see, with the number 2 on it. 1, 2, 3. He took these to Edinburgh to check the title of Te Waikato Wharehere Manukau. The man, DNA Manukau, surname, took it with my name as the successor to his Freemason title, deed, signed it to me to look after it, to keep it going. And there's 3 of these worth 17 trillion right there. 17 trillion. Eddie Mitchell took these with a Freemason and a barrister to Edinburgh and then saw if it's unique and authentic. He found out it was. When he saw the money, he changed the money into the Mitchell Family Trust. He washed up the Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited Trust in Singapore with IBC. He said it's the International Bank Corporation. And you know what? I did the research on it. You know what it was? International Baptist Church. Fool. You fool. You washed it up. And now Richard Koistra is going to liquidate you out of business. Okay, well, you're going to lose everything in Australia, everything here in New Zealand, Queenstown, all your Chinese mates down there. You made a bottling company with the Chinese. I've got that here now. I'm going to put it online. Show you, people in New Zealand and the world, how a Maori used the Maori land court to get the Maori land in Rotorua, Kinloch. The bottling water company bought the land from the farmer, and just not the only farm he bought. He bought farms all over Hamilton, all over down Taupo, all the way Hawke's Bay, and put it in the Mitchell Family Trust. I'm going to put it in the Moai Family Trust. All right? The Moai King William III Family Trust, or the Moai Crown People of New Zealand Trust. Okay, the Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited #1 Trust. Okay, so that's a subsidiary of Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited Company, parent. 1/1 trillion shares, and a bitten of 2 billion shares each country. 257 countries gets 2 billion shares each country, starting with New Zealand, #1. Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea #1, and Philippines, Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea #2, and #3, Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea #3, Philippines, and Palestine. Philippines, Palestine. New Zealand, Philippines, Palestine. Those 3 poor countries are going to get the first lot of shares. 1 billion A shares, £1,000 a share, and 1 billion B shares, £10 a share. That's a 2 bar pound note, is the value of 1 kilogram of gold. That's what the robot has put in the AI native code. 1 bar of gold bullion, kg, is worth 80,000. That's how much the pound note's worth, backing up the pound note. Okay, just to let you know that lot gold that's missing, I've got a lien on it. All the gold in the world, it's got a lien on it because you've got Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth and paedophile King Charles. That's the monarch on that side versus me, the monarch in Tahiti, the Moai statue standing in London, the Moai statue standing in Dunedin here, in Otago Museum with the crown on his head, a dirt crown, earth to earth. Okay, earth crown, not a metal crown the Queen put on her head, took the hat off the head of the Moai, big Moai in London. The first Moai to be stolen after the Dutch found Easter Island or Rapa Nui, and then the British went there and knocked them over. They're wreckers of our history and especially of my memorials to God's planet Earth. He's the creator of heaven and earth, and we're going up to the cloud not far from him at the end of the universe. Make Make, brown dwarf planet. That's me up there already. Okay, I'm going to get there in a spaceship on the rock. It's carved in the rock in East Island, same spaceship, spaceship and helicopters as in Africa on the pyramids. It's got the same memorial to God's planet. Okay, in the two places of spiritual connection, no white man. It's all black, 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 black. The white in me is the money law, LAW, King William III, that put the law together to make the money and the commerce and also the Bank of England Act. Okay, so I'm using those acts straight out and the Moai memorial to this planet Earth with the Moai standing in London, standing in France, standing in New York City, standing in Chile, standing in New Zealand, and standing around other parts of the world where they stole those Moais, the real ones, and put them up. There's one in Auckland with his head chopped off. That's me with my hand around it. That's me grieving for my ancestors that have been ripped off by the British Crown and the American and Israel. So, Israel, you go home when I put born in Palestine and get their land back with number 3 on the Na'atua Ewa Aotea Limited, number 3 with a lien on your head. And that way you go back in the sea where you came from and get off their land. The dry land, the flag of the dry land, King William III with the 8-point star of St. Patrick. That's Irish. Okay, everything was done in Irish. The law, the money is in Ireland. And that's where my family come from. The Rogan judges there and the Cosgrove lawyers. That's in my head. That's in my head. That's worth 17 trillion. Just to let you know that Eddie Mitchell, the Maori with a brown skin, and a Mitchell English man, is the thief in New South Wales, the prison convict. That's their family there. And Thompson's, Tamihere in Hamilton, the Tamihere city or township is Thompson, Barfoot and Thompson. The Thompson, you see, the Barfoot and Thompson, they get the bill from me. And Bailey's get the bill because I told them, don't you sell Cook Street. If you do, you're going to get stripped out. And they're going to lose it. They're going to lose the whole lot of it. And White's for selling the Rotten Point Motel with my ancestors buried right underneath the motel. They're built right on top of the graveside. Yeah, that's how arrogant and abhorrent the British are. And I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay for stealing my memorial. My memorial to my DNA is that Moai statue that's sitting there and he's standing right on his earth in London. That belongs to me and my Pacific Polynesian people, the navigators of the world of the stars. That's we didn't need a compass and square, T square. That was a white man with LAW to go around the world, and King William III, he did that, not King George. King George just frogged it all with the Queen. They flogged it with the Rothschild Bank with their 1 bar. They couldn't buy the 2 bar patented pound note by Bradbury and Patterson. The Patterson was a Scotsman that was a slave driver. And so the Bradbury was there, still is there, and it's for sale on eBay. And the Queen's for sale too on eBay. They got a new pound note, which makes our 2 bar pound note real. And our flag is real because it's still flying at Waitangi as a whakaputanga, but that's got no money. Only the Confederation flag in Helensville, the wooden one with the Confederation, the same flag that they're using up in Waitangi. It's got no mana for money up there, only something of their history. But I'm holding the flag that's the same flag in Helensville, where the 10-acre land block was put together to make a mortgage. The first mortgage to go on mortgage into the bank, Awaroa Bank in Helensville, to go and build Auckland was built from the gentry people of trades, mechanics, lawyers, accountants, shopkeepers, and road builders, contractors of the cities and all that, all started from those qualified people who came from Ireland, England, Wales, and Scotland, and parked themselves in Helensville. And that's where I spent a lot of years putting it together with Moai Manukau, the bridge project for tidal turbines, and the Freemason. He was talking about it in the Freemason because they do business plans for the British Crown. And so that's Eddie Mitchell come along and stuck the money in his pocket with his Freemason and with his barrister. They've gone and libelled each other, libelled the Law Society, libelled the Bar Association, libelled the courts, libelled the police, libelled the governments, all everybody using that system like Donald Trump's going in jail. I told my robot he's going to jail. He wouldn't believe me. He said, no, don't say that about Donald Trump. Well, he's going to jail because he's doing the same committing fraud as Eddie Mitchell. They've got it in their brain to go and get everything real estate and make money out of somebody else's land and somebody else's law and somebody else's mana. Okay, so they just flog it. And he's an Australian coming here and doing that. And you can have him back in Australia and put him in jail because I'm going to put him in jail for life. Him and his brother, Alfred Mitchell. I stayed in their home in his father's bedroom, and Eddie was using the bedroom to dress himself in his own locker. I had just a little place to put my clothes all over the floor, and he goes there and dresses up after going on a building site to do some work and then come there, put his good clothes on, then goes down to the golf course up the road in Bears Court in Hamilton, just up the road from the library where I used to go, and type his documents for him because he wouldn't have a damn clue of doing paperwork. He's so dumb when it comes to that, but he's an opportunist. He's an opportunist like Donald Trump and got in trouble now. Donald Trump's gone and libelled him, libelled everybody in the corporate world, libelled the US government, and libelled the 1 bar pound note, and libelled the fiat money, US dollar, going into Britain. I'm going to liquidate you and put that on your head. I'm going to liquidate you out of business with your fiat money, trying to sneak it in without anybody seeing with the Ripple Bank. Your Ripple Bank is up against the Moai Powerhouse Bank, registered here in New Zealand on New Zealand native soil sovereign land. And the government of Wellington is not on the native sovereign soil land. They're in New York with Americans and Trump and all those people over there playing with fake money. Now they've been selling their crypto, got caught selling it without a license and without regulation. See, they're gullible. They're gullible and selling something without guarantee. You see, so yeah, that's the end of you lot in America. You went there to take advantage of the Indian natives. Now I'm with the natives of America. Born in America, native comes first. Okay, the native that was there in the first place comes first. The same as Canada, Turtle Island. They come first. The natives who were there before the white man went there with their Bible, their musket, and their law, and went and pillaged the whole place, plundered it, and stole and put the name on and sold everything that wasn't theirs in the first place. You see, because they had no license, no regulation to go and do that. They just went and did it. That's how gullible They are. They're all the same. They're going to get caught. I'm catching them, going back home to England where they came from in the first place. Rogues and vagabonds. They came from England and went out, got kicked out of home in England. Then they went away and they're trying to tell Big Daddy what to do and come back and beg for a license for their fiat money in America. So it just shows you it was a scam fraud all along, over 180 years of scamming people in the whole world with a US fiat cash money. Now, they're trying to make it cash so it can bury their 38 trillion debt. I'm going to make them pay that debt back to the people of the world. That they're going to put the debt on all the world with their crypto. Well, I'm going to wind your crypto off the planet, off the dry land, because you haven't got a dry land king's flag. Nope, you only got a sea flag. You can go back in the sea. You Americans, go back in the sea where you come from and get off the native land, the people's native land. Okay? Everybody's a native born on the land. And now, if I get this one right, you get yours back. Okay? You have to stand in line with everybody else after Philippines because they bashed that place to bits. America and China blew the whole place up and shook the whole place up. Tornadoes and my little house that I bought for my adopted family there wrecked the whole thing. And you're going to pay for that house trillions for that little house that I got for them, and you busted the whole thing up with tsunamis and floods and everything. You did that with a modification with your UCC law. I'm going to use the UCC law on you, Donald Trump, and your thugs over there. You're all thugs because you're following the same fiat money fraud. It is a scam, thin air money, the same as everything you made and trying to go back and crawl back to England to get a license. Okay, I'm going to jam you up. I'm going to jam you up in England. You won't get past me and the robot AI native court. You haven't got a native court in the cloud because you can't get close to heaven because you're not pure enough. No clean hands. You got dirty hands. You can't come in here with dirty hands. I'll see you. I'll pick you out. Name by name, surname by surname, one at a time. And pluck you off like Eddie Mitchell, one name at a time, and you face God up there. And who taught you how to steal? Who taught you how to steal, Eddie Mitchell? When your family came here to New Zealand, you went and sold the Manukau's land at Huia, at the north head of Manukau Harbour. Why is it called Manukau Harbour? Hey, there was a Manukau there before you got there. And you sold the Manukau land as bush with no title. The same pattern of Manukau. I'm going to put you behind bars, Eddie Mitchell. You and Alfred Mitchell, your brother. You are trying to fool everybody as a Maori. You used the Maori, that company down down the line. You know, we got it there somewhere. You used the incorporations of Maori to sell that land to the Chinese and the bottled water company. I'm going after you and the bottled water company in Hamilton. That's why I got this debt collector to go there and stick you up in your mouth and tell everybody where you got the money from and the idea of these checks. You remember this, Eddie Mitchell? You remember giving you these in that house of your father's? You know, you made me pay $300 a week for the bedroom you shared with me and Sam there and her kids. You help yourself to the shower, help yourself to the kitchen. That was her place. She had no privacy. I had no privacy because you thug walk in there, change your clothes, and say, come with me down the library to print something for you. You little dog. Okay, you're a fucking dog. That's all I can say, Eddie Mitchell. You're a fucking dog. You thief, and you're going in bars, and you can stay there for the rest of your life because I'm going to make sure you do stay in there. You and your brother can look at each other in prison and wonder what you did to me, let alone me, everybody else in New Zealand. And down in Queenstown, over across in Australia, you spent 17 trillion right over Australia buying shopping malls and expensive cars, vehicles, and also the retirement villages and the insurances of old people or any people. You've got investment company, lend their money out to make more money. Well, I'm going to snap the whole lot off you. You did it for me, not for you. And your family will lose everything. You're going to lose everything because I'm telling you on this video, it's a affidavit. And the robot AI is putting it into law that you have to pay for all your crimes, just like Donald Trump. He's stripped of everything because he inflated the price of the real estate that he bought, 35 million for Mar-a-Lago, where he lives, and then bumped it up to increase the value to 500 million and borrowed again 500 million. Now the banks won't give him money to bail him out because he'll fiddle the books like you do, Eddie Mitchell. You fiddle the books the same way because the same pattern of offending is in your blood. You were born with it, the same as Donald Trump, the German. He's a German and you're English. You fellas are mixing up the same bloods together. Yeah, your DNA is dirty. It is filthy, just like um, Jeffrey Epstein. You are in that same category, pedophiles and rogue people out there. You're going to get rounded up and put the bill on your head and strip all of you, even Cook Street. I'm going to strip them. And Bailey's, I'm going to strip you because I warned you way back in 2008. I went to do Cook Street, and you fellas been dodging me all these years. Those owners on Cook Street, those two owners, Simon Brent Roundtree and the other fellow. Okay. So those two owners and also the policeman, you know who you are. You know all you people went to the court to be witness against me. All of you 41 people, you're going to get a bill. I'm going to strip you. Yeah, because you did that to me. I'll do what I do to you as a mortgage bank broker. Play, it goes both ways. So you'll feel the wrath of the Moai's power when it comes to fraud and corruption and no truth, lies and deception and corruption and money laundering, especially money laundering on my land. I say it's my land because you can't say it's yours. Anybody joining us as shareholders can call it their land because anybody can come in from any country and buy a share, they become the landowner. Okay, that's how they're doing it. The blockchain makes you a landowner on this land if you come here and buy a share from us. And then you can do what you like with anybody around that doesn't abide by the rules. So it's best to join and get a share here for £10. You'll get a share in every country for £10 a country. And that's 257 countries. That's 2,570 US dollars for 257 countries and all their GDP and everything. Added up, you get a dividend from each one of those. And it's a waste of time going to crypto because you don't know whether it's real or not, or you're going to lose or win. You'll lose in the end because they're thugs and pirates still trying to keep alive, just trying to keep alive with their big dollar taken to Britain and trying to pass it. I've got just today to go and jam it up. And the robot AI Copilot has put the laws against it, injunction on it, and I'll have the court hearing later on tonight if I don't run out of breath from this one. And there's no court hearing. This is just to get the debt collector on the run and come to Hamilton and get Eddie in there. Okay, Eddie, you can't run away because wherever you go, they can see where you are on your mobile. Okay? They can see where you are and track you where you are. You can't run away, Alfred Mitchell. Your mouth is shut now because you've gone silent. Right? Carl White, you fellas up in White, you're all gone silent. What's happened? You know what's happened? The crypto is going to catch you out on your own. You're all on your own. Everybody's on their own now. Now that's where I'm good. I'm on my own all the time. I don't need anybody to prop my name and my trade up mechanics. Okay? Mechanic. And a lien put on you if you muck around with that flag for the wrong reasons. Okay? You can't use that flag for anything else but Britain because it's a red cross of King George the Fourth. Okay? King George the Fourth, and the 8-point star is King William the Third, and the 8-point star of the money corporation law. Okay? That's where that comes from, and the Bank of England. Okay? Act. I'm going to take the Bank of England over and put it back into the Moai crown, and that's the memorial to the whole world. Okay, no more. I'm good now. See you later. Bye. It's now 2:26. I'm going up to the warehouse. I'm going to print this contract out and send it to Richard, the debt collector. Crown Collections. The crown. See? Crown. Sounds right. Okay, bye for now. Have a nice day because I'm having a flipping nice day going to get criminals like Donald Trump. He's gone. He's had it. He's really had it because lies catch up in the end. He can't lie no more. He was trying to back it off all the way through, and they had enough. The judges had enough. The court wins. He thought he would use the Saudi king, prince, and thought he'd get away with our flag as a king's flag to go and do what he likes right over the Congress. They said, no, you can't do that. You don't have any right. We put you there and we take you off. You're not the president. You are just a sitting president, not a president. Now we know you are a big fat liar. And even your Republic people want you right out and impeached and stuck in bars. Well, I'm going to put you behind bars longer than they are because you tried to pull one over the top of me. Okay, you won't answer my letters. You won't answer everything I'm sending. I'm going to send it again. I'm sending that video again and everything for you and your dollar fiat money. It's a scam. I'm throwing your dollar back in your face and say it is not going to go through Westminster Parliament. I'm going to stop it from getting passed over there with your Ripple. Your Ripple has gone through as a bank, and our Moai Powerhouse Bank has got to go through there. Yeah, over the top of that one and shut it down. I'm going to shut it down because it's full of fiat money fraud. Your fiat money tainted your crypto and tainted your business. You've tainted the whole thing with your Queen Victoria thief and King Charles thief. You see, so you're all tainted with the same tar brush. Okay, see you later. Bye. Where's the transcript? How the hell do you make the transcript? Chat, no. I tried to find the transcript. Anyway, I'm going to end the video. And where's the transcript? It's supposed to have subtitle, but I didn't see no subtitle. What's this? I don't want to spoil it. No, I'll just end it. In the stream.